Yo, what's up, boys? It's your man back with a little something different today. So, what my channel has become is I've been kind of making it all of my things I like, my interests, just merged together. And this is turning into another interest. This is actually going to bring a couple of them, drag them down with us into this channel. And that's going to be The Walking Dead and a little bit of comic books later. A little bit of comic books. I'm going to try and start getting into comic books on this channel just a little bit. And this is going to kind of be the stepping stone from figure review to maybe a little bit of comic book discussion. Maybe a little something in between. Let's just get right started. Let's get started. So today we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Negan. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, he is a very nice fellow from The Walking Dead. He is a leader. He's a good, strong leader. He's good. I don't want to spoil anything, so I won't say anything about him. But he's a nice, strong man, good leader, charismatic, funny. He's just a good person all around. I think he's very likable. You'd be friends with him. Let's just look at him. He looks very inviting. And this figure is quite a good representation of the character. I think they got a pretty much as close to perfect as you could get for the look with this guy. And I will say it, this figure is one of the better figures in this line. So things don't go up a lot, I guess you could say. Ooh, sorry, just bumping the light. Things don't really go up more from here. But that's why we're starting with it. You start with the best just to get the bars set. So, looking in on the paint and sculpt of this guy, this is the look he rocked in issue 100 of The Walking Dead, his first appearance. And they think the look really fits good. The paint and sculpting is very, very good. Now, he literally almost looks out of the comic book. The one problem I can say is that, I don't know if it's too much of a problem, but in the book he has, I think, only one glove, and he only wears on the hand that he touches his little buddy with. That sounded really weird, but he only uses the glove to hold the end of the bat, I guess you could say. And that's the only thing I think that's wrong with this guy, because other than that, he looks pretty much key out of the issue. And now, since I really can't think of another way to smooth it in, bring in the issue itself. Here it is, The Walking Dead, issue 100. This is Negan's first appearance, part 4 of the Something to Fear arc. And this is, just broke the tripod, but just get a nice look at that. So that's his first appearance right there, issue 100 of The Walking Dead. And this look is from that issue. And I think it is a very good representation. I just broke the thing again. But as you can see, there he is on the cover. A little bit blacked out, but you can give it a comparison. That's why I say he only wears one glove, is because in the comic cover, he only has one glove. I just read the issue the other day too, so I think he also has one glove in that. Ugh. So, now we can move on from the clunky transition to show the book. We could continue on and look at the figure. So in his first appearance, he is introduced near the end. He gets a nice introduction. You can see he doesn't really work well with our other main antagonists in the line, but he wants what he wants, and he gets what he wants. See, one problem here with this being a new kind of video is I'm trying to figure out if I should just tell literally exactly what happened in the book, or if I should not, because it's kind of hard to stay spoiler free. You know what? Who cares? We'll just go in for spoilers. This is spoiler warning. If you have not read The Walking Dead, do not go beyond this point now. So, in Negan's first appearance, we'll switch comparisons right now. In Negan's first appearance here, he meets up with, well, he doesn't meet up with, but he encounters Rick. And Rick also has his son, Carl, with him. He's my man. My man, Carl. He also meets their friend, Glenn. And in the issue, my man Glenn literally dies. Negan beats him to death with his first accessory here. he has Lucille, his barbed wire baseball bat GF. And now, in the show, or in the book, he takes this weapon right here. He holds it. Let me... yeah. He takes this weapon right here. He says, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And he, bow, bops this guy. Oh, yo, he's even down too. And he just bow, bow, bow. And he kills Glenn. First appearance. He murders Glenn. And then he just kind of leaves. He says, I want all your stuff, and he just leaves. Which, it's very interesting. Very good issue, and I actually really do like his introduction. I think out of comic book introductions, just in general, he probably has one of the best first appearances because they're surrounded by 50 men, different assorted weapons, chainsaws, baseball bats, knives, guns, everything. And then he comes through as the leader of everyone. It's just a great introduction, and I 100% recommend reading it. The Walking Dead issue 100. Great, great issue. So now moving some of these guys out of the way, we can go into a little bit of articulation on this guy. So keep him holding Lucille here. At the head, there is a ball joint at the neck. Nice little swivel. Doesn't really look up. I guess a little bit down. The articulation on these figures is 100% not the draw for them. It's more the look, like the paint and sculpt is pretty good on these guys. And I think that's more of the draw. Like, the articulation is pretty terrible, but we'll continue. At the shoulder here, arm goes up that far. Looks pretty terrible up like that. It goes around 360 degrees, being very easy with it. At the elbow here, there is a rotation, and then a, I can't think of the word now, but a joint with the clicks. Ooh, nice segmented joint, I think it might be. But, oh no, ratchet joint, there's the word. That's a ratchet joint for the elbows here. So the swivel is a little loose, but because of the ratchet, nice and tight. And then at the wrist here, there is a swivel and a hinge. Nice little up and down hinge. Both hands do have the same exact articulation. So the bat hand and the holding bat hand can work pretty nicely. The articulation is obviously not the best, but it gets what you need done, and I think it gets it done pretty nicely. So, I don't think there's any sort of waist articulation. I'm not going to crank it. At the leg, he kicks forward that far. Oof, kicks back that far. Goes out to the side like this, and there's also a little swivel actually on the thigh. Speaking of articulation, I don't think I need to do an update on articulation for the FNAF figures. These figures need it even worse. So at the knee, there is, of course, a swivel and a hinge. Another nice ratchet joint. The knee goes that far in, and even a little bit out. In case you want to do some kicking or something, you can go a little bit out. Then moving down to the foot here, there's a nice little boot. There's a ball joint, it looks like, so there's a rotation. Not much forward and back, and a little bit of pivot. So the articulation, pretty terrible, but as I said, this is not these. Well, I kind of think it's the whole line. They're not really figures you're looking for articulation for. Like in the books, they get a little bit athletic, I guess you could say, but there's nothing like, they're not doing Spider-Man poses, jumping and flying, or Venom stuff like that. So the articulation really isn't as important in this, but it's still pretty decent. And the ratchet joints are something we don't see a lot. That helps with the longevity. And these figures do, I don't know how old this guy really is. At least a good handful. But he looks pretty good. Oops, just turn off the light. I think he looks good, and the articulation in the parts that have the ratchet are still very tight and pretty nice. All right, so now, ooh, that was scary. We'll move on next to a couple of his buddies, I guess, some more bad guys. We'll start here with his second in command for the Saviors. We've got Dwight. And you might be looking at this guy and thinking, something's not right with this guy. What's going on here? Bring it in. You can see he's got a little bit of a chalked up burnt face. And that also has to do, oh, now I can't stand, with Negan's next accessory. He has the iron right here. You can see. Nice little iron. You might be thinking, what is he gonna flatten out Dwight's clothes for him? Is he gonna iron his pants, his vest? No, sir. Negan, as a punishment, if you go against the saviors, you get this iron here. They put on a flame, heat it up, and then whoosh, they burn this man. This man got burnt. His face got burnt. That's it. But still, that's pretty terrible. If you get punished, so you get your face burned off, that's unbelievable. Now Negan, he could hold this, but it's a little bit of a pain to get in. So you can just have him holding it in the other hand, maybe laughing like he just got done, because he burns a couple of people with it. He burns my man Dwight here, and then he also burns Mark, everybody's favorite, most memorable Walking Dead character. He burns Mark. And it is a pretty interesting thing in the books, watching him burn people's faces off. Because if you don't really know, The Walking Dead is more of a survival horror series, but it's like realistic survival horror where they get their leg broken, they're out for a couple of months, you fall and get hurt, you actually get hurt. It's not like a Dragon Ball or something where they'll get hit, they'll just take no damage, they'll eat it. This is realistic. And the zombies, it's crazy. Just if you haven't watched or read The Walking Dead, I'd say read, because the show is pretty bad. If you've never read The Walking Dead, 100% recommend it. It's a great series. So we'll move this guy out of the way. And next, I guess we can, instead of more story-related characters, what kind of is, we'll show more just related characters. Here is Prison Negan from down the line when he gets incarcerated. Here is a Whisperer. You hear whispers. Ooh, the Whisperers. You got Beta. And then the leader of the Whisperers, Alpha. And all these characters, they get a run-in with Negan one way or another. This is some stuff I'll leave a little bit out. You see, except for Prison Negan, because that is Negan. These guys all get a little bit of a run-in with Negan. They have a couple of little fights, little scuffles with him. And I think, just showing the scale, it's the same. I think these figures are the same as the NECA line, where if you have a large majority of them together, that's when they look the best, because they'll fit story-wise, they could fit just look-wise, all articulation. Most of them have the same articulation. And I think this is when they shine, because you could set up, there's almost a figure for every single character. So you could literally set up the whole entire Walking Dead universe, and they all would look great together. All right, so now moving on. Don't want to drop him. Prison Negan. We got Alpha 2. Moving on, we have a couple of more things to do for this guy. One more accessory that I have not gotten to show yet. It's the little knife. He's got a little knife. Believe me, he sure does murder people with this knife. Oh my god. There is a good handful of issues where this man Negan just uses this knife to slaughter. A man named Spencer gets disemboweled straight, you got no guts, and he cuts this man open. Now, I do actually want to take a deeper look at some of these accessories, because the details on the knife are not bad at all. There's a lot of small details on these McFarlane Toys stuff, and it's really just stuff you can't really appreciate because it's so small. Like, we'll take another look at Lucille here. Lucille looks really good. All the barbed wire is individually sculpted in. And just for fun fact, in real life, this would not work. You could not have a barbed wire bat like this in real life. So I guess that's the one point of realism taken away, because this bat is not realistic. Then we'll take another look at his iron quick too. Ooh, some nice detail on the iron. It's got that nice little bit of shiny reflective plastic. It looks worn down. He could have used this for something. He did use this for something. It just looks great. And it fits right out of the book. I mean, it has that perfect design. Like, it's perfectly looking like the one from the book that he burns Dwight with. Alright, so that's just about it for this video, guys. It was a little something different. I wanted to try and more get into doing comic book stuff on here. And I feel like this has been a little bit of a bridge gap, like the comic books are right here, figure reviews over here. Me, I'm like here, I'm in the middle. I think it was pretty sloppy because I really had no idea how I was going to start it. But now I do, so it'll be getting better as I keep going with these videos. This is just the first one. This is like the beta testing. This is the beta testing. Get beta testing. So, sorry about that. This has just been a little bit of a test video. If you guys like it, please tell me. I want to know. And if you have any, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Any way to help, any tips and tricks on how I should do this stuff, any ideas or anything, just comment it down below, please. Because I enjoy doing this, and it's just bringing more stuff I like into the channel. And if you guys have any tips for what you'd want to do, any requests, anything, just comment it and tell me. It's been a little sloppy, but you know, you got to start somewhere. So thank you guys so much for watching. Negan thanks you. He's so happy you guys came to join. And I'll see you in the next one. Maybe the next review. Little sneak peek. Let me see. Where is he? There he is. Might do this guy next. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed.